Hello, everybody. My name is Richard. I am the user, and normally right now I'd be drunk. At the moment, I've only had like one beer, so it's actually very different. The reason I'd be drunk is that I have a website called theusersdrunk.com, which you may have heard of. It went viral a couple of months ago, and basically the entire point is that I'm a UX professional. I do UX testing, I do UX reviews, and I would do these while drunk. So you, for instance, the owner of someawesomesite.com, would pay me a certain amount of money to get drunk and then look at someawesomesite.com and send you a video of me slobbering my way through the site and also a nice document detailing exactly where I thought the site was good, where I thought it was bad, how my user experience was, and where I think the site could be tightened up. This isn't exactly a novel idea. It actually came up around 2011. A guy called Will Dable from Australia had the idea for drunk UX testing, and he had a very popular video. The thing was that no one had actually offered this as a service before, so I was the first person to be like, hey, I could get drunk and review websites, and people could pay me for that. And the best thing about this is that the idea was so incredibly sticky that it worked. Everyone liked it. People shared it with their clients. People shared it with their coworkers, with their friends, and Facebook and Twitter. I got a lot of traffic, and I ended up actually having a substantial amount of work to do, which was pretty good, especially as I was living in Bali and Thailand for most of the time that this was happening, which means that the drinks were cheap. I had tons of friends to drink with me, and as long as I had an internet connection, I could do the work. So that's the premise of my site, and today I'm going to talk to you about like 3 things I learned while doing UX testing drunk. So first thing is that it's surprisingly difficult to navigate most sites while drunk. Second thing is that if your idea is good enough and the marketing is good enough, you don't need to worry about SEO or anything like that. And the third thing is that marketing is actually everything, and I'll tell you why. So on to the first step, surprisingly difficult to navigate most sites while drunk. I had around 50 sites I did while drunk, not including sites I clicked onto randomly because I was thinking about chips or something. These sites ranged from Japanese fashion stores to insurance forums to one guy's text-only blog to major sites like Gizmodo or HubSpot. And it was really interesting how many different sites I did, how many different languages I had to deal with, especially while drunk. And what was most interesting is that pretty much all of them were very difficult to navigate. The main thing you should know about drunk users is that they hate reading. I don't want to read any text while I'm drunk. I doubt that you do. The other thing you should know about them is that they don't really follow instructions at all. So you have to make your UX very clear from the very beginning. And this is actually really important because a drunk user is a subset of the population of users you're going to have on your site. However, you are going to have many users who either don't have the time to focus or don't really know how to focus because they're not internet users, or just aren't that interested in your product. And so what you need to do in those cases is make sure that they can get immediately what your site offers, get immediately how they can get to what it offers, and basically get from wherever they were to what you're offering and then off of your site and back to their daily life. It's kind of a weird way to look at sites. We always think about time as in like how long do you spend on a site. But really at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is sell them information or sell them a product. And if you can get those 2 things to them as fast as possible, you've succeeded. Second point I want to make is that if your idea is good enough and your marketing is good enough, you don't have to worry about SEO. My entire marketing strategy for the Users Drunk was to put 1 link on Reddit, 1 link on Hacker News, and 1 link on Twitter. That was it. Besides that, I had a really good hook, which was that your site should be easy enough for a drunk person to use. You can't test that, but I can. And I kept the site really lighthearted. I had a very clear tone. It was very consistent throughout the entire site. And I had a picture on the background that made it clear that I was A, a developer, and B, a jammy bastard looking to have a good time and make snide comments. The combination of all of these things worked really, really well. I had 300,000 hits within my first week. And I had a ton of requests for interviews from a lot of different amazing news sources, which led to more clients. So don't worry about your marketing strategy if you have the power to shape your entire product, because you can make your product sell itself. Again, I was kind of exceptional because the user trunk is an exceptionally sticky product, but it worked for me. Third point is that marketing is actually pretty much everything. My site was a static site that took me around 4 hours to make. The work took a lot longer, but I could do that with friends. But building the site was incredibly easy. Didn't really have any overheads. And it was basically something I could have made, it's done. But it was successful because of the marketing. So another thing I did was that I would, after every video, send a document saying where I thought the site needed to be improved, or what I thought about the site. And this actually made me come off not as just some random guy, but as a professional being interested in helping out. Now, the reason I think this is important because not one single one of my clients asked for their money back. And that's really amazing considering that I was literally a drunk guy. In some cases, slandering sites because I have no filter on when I'm quite inebriated, and I would just say this site is horrible. So I had the leeway to say pretty much whatever I wanted. If I didn't like a site, I could say that. If I loved it, I could say that too. Swearing wasn't a problem. I mean, how often do you get to swear at your client? But what was great about it was that the way I marketed it was really smart. So I tried to figure out, what did my client want beforehand? Did they want a comedy guy to look at the site, or did they want a UX reviewer? So I would package that final document, and I would package the review to be like, if it's a serious UX review, I provide solid deliverables. In some cases, my review was like laughing for a minute straight, and in that case, I'd try to package it as a comedy. And I think that these two things made it both fun to watch for returning viewers to the site and for the client themselves. I got a lot of amazing feedback. A few of the emails I got were literally just strings of ah ha 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 ha, and some of them were, "This is great, can we hire you to do A/B testing?" So basically, marketing is everything. It helped get my site launched. It helped everything work, and yeah, I hope this was really useful for you. Full disclosure, I did have a beer before making this, but I figured, hey, that's how this thing works. So thanks. That's me. Have a good one. Bye.